James, you're drunk again.
Mind your business. Donna, give me a damn drink.
Please, James. I feel hurt because of your words. Why, why do you do this? I can't take it anymore.
You're pathetic, Donna. Just shut up and do as I say.
I wiped my tears, determined to keep going. But suddenly he raised his hand and struck me across the face. I stumbled back, clutching my cheek. I'm so used to this kind of life. My husband has beaten me many times. The bruises on my hands, face, and legs are so prominent, and if they're about to heal, another one will show up. He has become addicted to alcohol. He has used all our money to drink at luxury bars and casinos. His co-workers even told me that he rarely goes to their office and is on the brink of getting fired. I feel anxious about my life. Our finances are so low. We were swimming in a debt pool, which my drunkard husband abuses me daily. The vows he said to me on the altar during our wedding slipped from his mouth. They were all lies. He swore to protect me. But look at him now. He's the one who's making my life miserable. I placed a can of beer on the table beside him. He stared at me with a powerful presence, as if he was about to slap me again. He told me to open it, but before he could say it, he called me names first: whore, stupid, dumb, and useless. All of these words seem like a lullaby to me. I don't feel pain anymore. I am so numb already. After I opened the can, he slapped my head hard, so I stumbled again to the floor. He told me that it is what I get for being so slow. He had drunk 6 cans already, and it was 1 in the morning. I am so tired from cleaning the house, and my body is soaring because of his physical attacks. I want to sleep and rest, but he wants me to stay up with him. I controlled myself from falling asleep, but he was taking so long. He kept on watching this football match, and he wants me up so I can refill his beer and food. He is treating me like a slave. Sometimes I forget that I'm his wife. He kept on tormenting me with my lapses as a spouse. All his abuse started when I had a miscarriage 4 months into my pregnancy. We were both so excited to have a child. We had everything planned out already. It has been James's dream to become a father, but after a fatal accident at work, the baby is gone. He was so furious, and I was shocked because he blamed it on me. He told me that I was careless, and for the worst, he even said that I intended to abort the baby. For God's sake, I will never do that. I love our child so much. And what kind of mother would ever wish for their child to die? And since then, he succumbed to addiction and projected his frustrations on me. There are many times that I wanted to get out of this relationship, but I'm so scared even to try because I know what my husband can do. He even threatens to hurt me and my family if I decide to leave. I am so tired. I can't live with this kind of life anymore. I was returned to reality when my husband instructed me to get another can. I insisted that he must rest, but he threw the can at the wall and started to throw a tantrum. I heaved a sigh and followed his orders. I don't want to be attacked again. My body can't endure it anymore. After 10 cans of beer, my husband finally fell asleep. A considerable weight of pain lifted from my heart. This is too much already. I want all of this to end. Another day passed, and when evening came, my husband came home drunk again. But this time, his shirt was all hairy and worn out, and his face had bruises as if he had gone into a fight. What happened to you?
This is all your fault.
What? What did I do again this time? He slapped me as my voice escalated. He hates it whenever I show him dominance.
It's all your fault that I'm childless.
Is this the reason why you got into a fight?
Yes, just because I held a kid at the park, his father punched me. I just wanted to help that kid out.
Then why is it my fault?
Because you aborted our child.
That is not true. Stop telling lies. He punched me in the gut and I lay on the floor. I wanted to get up, but he kicked me. He was about to pull my hair when he collapsed to the ground. I panicked as I saw him barely breathing. Is he going to die? Despite the pain in my stomach and my hatred towards him, I still chose to help my husband and called an ambulance for rescue. After a few minutes, they responded. We rushed him to the hospital, and while we were inside the ambulance, I also treated my wounds. Afterwards, my husband was placed in the emergency room while I stayed in the private room to recover from his physical attacks. Hours have passed, and I can already feel my body regaining its strength. And in just a few minutes, the doctor came in. He went directly to me and delivered the news about my husband's condition.
Mrs. Williford, how are you?
I am doing recovering, Doc.
That is good to hear. I have something to tell you about your husband.
What is it?
He is suffering from AUD, and it is best for him to go to rehab.
I was so shocked by what he said. My husband is diagnosed with alcohol use disorder, or AUD. His body has been dependent on alcohol for the past year, slowly deteriorating. As the doctors were doing their best to heal his physical condition, they admitted that they could not fully reassure him that his mental and emotional health would instantly heal. Because of that, they advised me to put my husband in a rehabilitation center. I heaved a sigh. Sure, do whatever you can to help him. I always knew his addiction to alcohol was affecting his mental health. There were several fights of us that would make me think that maybe he is just a victim of his mental health. However, we also have fights when he's sober, and it is even much worse. One fight that I forgot is when we were at a grocery store. He told me to buy 5 bottles of his favorite beer, but when I got to the liquor section, there were only 2 left of his favorite. I am so afraid to get the ones he don't like and to get just 2. I am torn. I don't know what to do because either way, he will still beat me, and I have already gotten enough beating that day. But because I'm taking so long, I started to feel anxious because I'm sure that he's going to hurt me again for being slow. So out of fear, I hurriedly got the 2 bottles of his favorite beer, and when I gave it to him, his face became furious. He was about to throw the bottle on me, but he controlled himself because we are at a public place. But the moment we went out, he dragged me forcibly to our car and pushed me inside. He slapped me and called me names, saying I was dumb for not listening to him. I tried to explain my side, but whenever I was about to say something, he will grab my mouth and slap my face. I cried all the way home, and even if I wanted to run away, I cannot. It was so hard. My life was so miserable. I thought he was going to take care of me, but I was wrong. He hurt every inch of my being. And with that, even though we are struggling financially, I still want him to get the help he deserves. But I will not forget everything he did to me. All the pain, mistreatment, and abuse, they're all engraved in my heart and mind. I will take my revenge, and by revenge, I want to see him fall. On top of that, while he is on the rehab, it is an opportunity for me to plot my long planned escape. Also, while he's away, it is a chance for me to gather evidence against him. My bruises and scars are one thing, but I need a solid evidence that can further support my case against him. After a few days, the hospital transferred my husband to their partner mental health center. I went with him, but I kept an open distance between us. This is to signify that he is no longer authorized to control my life and hurt me in any possible way. I want him to know, to feel I am no longer dependent on him. Instead, I am just here to witness the start of his downfall. I want him to heal, really, but I want him to also learn from his mistakes. And once he will recover, once he is stable enough, I will let him know the taste of his own medicine. The doctor that was assigned to him told me he would be in rehab for 4 months. I thanked him for his service and I went home. I never felt comfortable and at peace in this house for so long. I am on my own now. With a light heart, I sat on our couch in the living room. I remember when I wasn't allowed to be here because only my husband was allowed to. As I was watching my favorite show, I saw something odd at the side of our ceiling. Something was hidden there. I tried to reach it by standing on a stool, and my heart almost stopped when I realized it was a CCTV camera. Why is this here? Did my husband install this? Of course, he does. He is so paranoid about me cheating and doing something stupid. However, an idea came to mind. I realized that the footage could serve as evidence of my husband's abusive behavior. I got the camera and went straight to my computer. I transferred all the footage and compiled them into a folder. I didn't wait long enough to put my plan into action. 4 months is short, and I need to act right now. I began by contacting James's family and friends, secretly sharing the compilation video of his embarrassing and abusive moments. I sent all the footage to their social media accounts. As time passes, the word of James's behavior spreads. All people that are connected to him already know about his true nature. With that, his reputation crumbles, even before his discharge from rehab. Also, I consulted a lawyer and prepared for divorce, using the gathered evidence to strengthen my case. I never expected it to actually spread like wildfire. One day, while I was sitting on our balcony, I read in a newspaper a headline, "Prominent businessman's reputation shattered." And it is all about my husband. 4 months passed, and I didn't bother to be at my husband's discharge day. I even heard from the doctor's report that he would reconcile with me. And just like that, is he going to make amends? That won't suffice the years of torment and trauma. On top of that, someone close to me working in the mental health center told me that as soon as my husband got out of rehab, he immediately knew about the news. He was so ashamed and embarrassed, so he immediately went to his family's house. but they disowned him, and this is all his fault. Nonetheless, he even had the chance to say,
That bitch is doing the work while I'm away. She's a snake, and she's the one who must be in rehab. She's a psycho.
but news of his dismay and downfall came to me. He had nowhere to go and got nothing in his pocket. One day, I sat on the couch reflecting on my life. A knock on the door brought me back to reality. I hesitated to answer it for a moment. I opened it, and I saw my husband looking a bit frail but determined. What are you doing here?
Donna, I needed to see you. I wanted to apologize.
My eyes narrowed. Apologize? After all that happened?
Yes, Donna. I finally understand the pain I caused you, the damage I've done. I hit rock bottom in rehab and realized how much I have lost.
It's too late for apologies, James. The years of abuse, the scars run deep.
I know, Donna. I can never fully make up for what I've done, but I want you to know that I've changed. I've been working hard on myself, seeking help and attending therapy. I am determined to be a better person.
That doesn't change the pain and trauma that I experienced. You treated me like I was nothing but an unworthy person. You disrespected me and even abused me.
I understand that, Donna, and I don't expect you to forgive me. I just wanted you to know that I'm committed to becoming a different man, one who would never hurt you again.
The damage is done. I have filed for divorce, and in no time I will own this house. I may be living a comfortable life, but the trauma lives with me, and being with you will only make it worse. That's why I'm doing myself the biggest favor by leaving you behind. James's face falls, a mixture of regret and sadness.
I understand, Donna, but you don't have to divorce me. Please, I have nowhere to go. Everyone hates me. Please take me in again.
We are over. I shut the door in front of him, and by doing that, I am also closing doors from my perpetrator, my husband. We got a divorce, and James was asked for compensation for his abuse of me and even detained. I started to work on myself through healing and growing.